Hey, let's play some Starfield. Audio check. Am I there? Oh, I'm there. I'm there. Okay, I will mute my laptop. Yeah, like I said, let's play some Starfield. I don't know if you heard that at the very beginning. But yeah, here we are. We are on Titan, I believe, is where we left off. In the town of New Homestead, and it's a tourist attraction because I think it's like the first off-world Earth colony, and there's people living here who are still practicing the ways of old Earth, kind of like a living history sort of thing. I am in the middle of taking a tour with Bill Starsap, and I talked to the doctor, and she doesn't like all these tourists coming around because they keep getting hurt and wasting her time when she would rather be taking care of the residents of New Homestead. So she gave me this monster costume to wear to go scare the tourists. So I'm not going to do that right this minute. I will put back... Well, actually, I'll just take that off completely. I don't think I have a helmet equipped or anything. Yeah, alright. I'm not expecting to get into any fights yet. I'm just here in the town taking the tour, so there I am. There's the doctor, and I've got Zeke with me as usual. I've had him with me quite a bit in this game. Alright, let's continue on with the tour. Oh, Pharmaceutical Lab. Can I use it? Will it use the stuff that's on my ship? It seems to be. Antibiotic paste. What all can I make here? I don't think I've ever made anything with with this Pharmaceutical Lab. I can make Steve. Cocktail made from Aurora and the Chem Panopticon. Okay. Redamp. Ooh, increases jump height and damage resistance. That's pretty decent. I need mercury though. Ooh, yikes. Red trench. Penicillin. Injectors. Infused bandages. Oh. Use regular bandages and a sedative. Huh. I think I've already got a lot of these things in my inventory already. Alright, that's cool. Sorry, I'm holding up the tour. Let's head out, Zeke. Come on. He's waiting for me. He goes from place to place
when I grow up.
and waits for me while I talk to people. I think I've already been in the lounge. Yeah, I remember that. Dark room. Storage, it says. What's in here? Oh, these are the storage containers he was talking about. These are kind of like the homes they have for rent in Neon. And, you know, there's people in real life who make tiny homes out of storage containers. Oh, look, there's a little froggy from Sidonia.
All these tourists are able
Adrian.
to come and go as they please. I wish I had that kind of money. Oh, you don't really want to talk to me. I'm just a nobody from the crates. Besides, I'm not really good at talking to tourists about New Homestead. If you're really interested in our history, talk to Maurice. He's a lot better at that than I am.
Hey, hi Stella, I see you in the chat room. 63 days and still going. Yeah, this is my 63rd day playing Starfield. I'd love to talk with you, really. Please don't say that. I'm sure you're not a nobody. I'll go find Maurice. I'm not sure I'm equipped to deal with whatever you've got going on. You're not a nobody.
I feel like it sometimes. I don't have many friends, and I'm struggling to stay in my undergrad program. It feels like I'm never going to get out of here and make a name for myself. Anyway, if we're going to talk, maybe we should talk about something else.
You're having trouble with your studies? You mentioned something about the crates. What do you do here in New Homestead? How do you feel about... well, I'll start with the... let's start at the top. You're having trouble with your studies?
Okay, well, no. Not the studies specifically. Like, I get good grades when I'm able to apply myself. But I'm poor. I just don't have the kind of money to be a full-time student and support myself. Even living in the cheap-ass crates. I keep having to take odd jobs just to put food on my plate. And when I do, my grades suffer. I just feel like I'll be stuck in a rut forever.
Can I hire her as my crew? Whoa, I can give her a scholarship. You can be successful without finishing school. You just may need to get out of New Homestead. That's too bad. Maybe you'll be able to afford it someday. Yeah, I got plenty of money.
What?
Here you go.
Really? I don't know what to say. This is beyond kind of you. I mean, I don't even know you, but... wow. Thank you.
I mean, I just got like 250,000 credits from doing that that legacy thing for Sis stuff. What do you do here in New Homestead?
Well, I'm trying to finish up my undergrad schooling, actually. I want to be a physicist like my grandmother. Then, who knows what. But I also do some odd jobs here or there for money. Sometimes I help Jay out at his shop, and he gives me stuff in return. Sometimes I help Anja clean up at the Brown Horse when she's short-staffed. That sort of thing.
All right. You mentioned something about the crates. What's that? Well, that's the stuff she lives in. Duh.
The crates are what we call the living quarters for the poor people. Like me. They're made from old shipping containers. We have to make do with the space we have here. They're comfortable enough, I guess. And no one on Titan is well off to begin with, but you can tell that people look down on us. Especially some of the tourists.
Well, screw those people. How do you feel about your home being a tourist destination?
It's not as bad as you'd think. I like talking to off-worlders, especially people my age. It gives me ideas for what I want to do when I'm done with school. Because, honestly, I'm not sure I want to stay here. It'll always be my home, but as soon as I can afford to, I'd love to explore my options.
Yeah, well, maybe she could be a crew member on my ship at some point.
Thanks for stopping by to talk.
You're welcome. Good luck with your studies. I'm just poking around their houses here.
I could really go for some of Anja's cooking over at the Brown Horse.
Okay. Oh, wow. Got like a bed and a table shoved in here. Jeez, you're pooping 2 feet from where you sleep. I guess you gotta do what you gotta do. Wow. I mean, these are like places I would make in Fallout 4 for settlers to live in. Somebody's sandwich. Your UC Marine spacesuit. Okay.
Someone's gotta talk to Joyce about these brownouts.
Okay. Who's Joyce?
Off-worlders always ask how I can live here. I wonder how they can live anywhere else.
Alright, I guess I've looked around everywhere there is to look here.
You'll never catch me.
There's a bathroom here. Well, at least they have their own little toilets and their crates in there. Elevator.
Lots of
Suite
history
1.
here, if you're into that sort of thing.
Suite 2. Is he gonna leave or continue on here? I want to make sure I look around everywhere before he moves on. Oh wow, a whole bunch of people living in here.
If you need medical attention, see Dr. Lakota. But a word of warning, she really doesn't care for tourists.
This letter to the school board. To whom it may concern, my daughter Sylvie is part of the UC Remote World Learning Program. In this month's study kit, she was assigned a book titled The Hills Cry Jemison. As I do all books assigned to her, I took to reading it first to judge suitability for my daughter. How do you get off giving her this garbage to read? Her assigned learning counselor tells us it's really about building friendships, learning to tolerate others' differences, and overcoming adversity. That's all fine and good. Those are important lessons, but I see it for what it is, nothing but propaganda, promoting your planet. My daughter is a proud new homesteader, and I see to it that she remains that way. I don't want her getting silly ideas in her head about picking up from her home and family and moving to your consumer wasteland of a world. Ooh. Sylvie will not be reading this book. I want my daughter to learn, but if you keep sending her material that pushes her away from me, I'll have no choice but to homeschool her, which places a huge burden on my family due to our farming responsibilities. Please reconsider the reading material you send our way. Interesting. Is that any kind of quest assigned with that or anything? No, I guess not. I don't need to keep the letter. Let's drop it. Right back where I got it. Okay. Empty beer bottle. Notebook. Dish rag. Alright, nothing else interesting in here? Okay. Alright, well, I guess we can continue on with the tour, my dude.
Have any questions so far?
I think I'm ready for whatever's next.
Alrighty. We'll be taking the residential elevator to the farms area on the surface level. This way, please. Let's leave these good people alone for now and go check out the farms. Follow me up the elevator.
We take vandalism seriously here. You don't mess with history.
Yeah, I didn't expect to be playing this game for as long as I've been playing it. Why am I cold here?
Homestead's farms are the
It should be warm, right?
Without them, the original outpost would have shriveled and died. These pods are sealed and climate controlled, the perfect environment for growing the hydroponic vegetation needed for survival
You're always
in
talking
the
about
early
how
days of
important
the
it is
colony.
to preserve our traditions. But why do we have to farm? How is that part of our tradition?
Let's hear the answer. Is he gonna answer her? Nope. He's not gonna say a word.
Well, we tend to farm here because we need to grow food.
Oh.
And that's what our ancestors did on Earth.
But didn't they have big open fields and giant machines? We don't have any of that.
She makes a good point, dear.
It's because we have a much smaller space to work with.
So then, it's not really the same, is it? How is it a tradition if it's not the same thing as they did? And so then, why is it important that we preserve it?
I don't know, it just is. Now, we don't want to fall behind on work, so let's get back to it, okay, kiddo?
Okay, fine. Did you know
Well, I think
that Earth had all sorts of cool
I
animals?
think this is the Sylvie
Actually,
that's
lots of planets
doing
do,
the UC schooling
but
program.
Not this one. Sad, huh?
We
I
Titans
talked
are
to her
hardy people.
mom. This
You'd have to
lady
be to live in a
here,
place like this.
she doesn't really seem to want to stay here. She's just here because this is where she grew up. And her husband likes being here.
We were learning about Jemison in my class the other day. Can we go there someday, Mama?
We talked about this, Sylvie. If you want to go there for your learning vacation when you're older, you may, but not until then.
Dear, maybe we should talk about it before we say no?
You know we can't afford to leave the farm. People here depend on us.
I know.
Tell you what, your mom and I will talk about it.
Thanks, Papa.
Okay. Come on, dude.
Any questions about the farms?
Maybe. Are the farms still operational? What do they grow here? How is it different than anywhere else in the galaxy? Yeah, I'll say
Good
that.
question. It's largely the same, because this was the colony that pioneered the techniques you see elsewhere. But you'll notice that the farms here are smaller and staffed by humans, not robots. Things here are a little more old-fashioned compared to some of the large factory farms you'll find elsewhere in the settled systems.
What do they grow
These
here?
days, it's a mix of what you find elsewhere in the galaxy, but in the olden days, it was all brought over from Earth. It was a lot of hardy root vegetables like potatoes, carrots, beets, and such, supplemented with corn, peas, green beans, soy, etc., which didn't always grow as well.
Are the farms still operational? Well, clearly.
Oh, they are indeed. Colonists still cultivate plant-based food for their own consumption here in New Homestead. It's less vital to their survival these days, as they also import supplemental food from other colonies, including meats, dairy, and synthetics. However, most citizens here take pride in a New Homestead-grown, sustainable diet.
Okay, I guess I'm ready to move on.
Onward it is! We'll be stopping by the Brown Horse Tavern later in the tour, which uses many of these locally sourced ingredients in their cooking. But for now, it's just a short way to our next stop. Follow me! So, the old biolabs are just on the other side of this building, believe it or not. We'll step on through the hallway there. They're not in use anymore, but the colony has faithfully recreated them as a historical
free to look
exhibit,
around, but don't
true to
touch.
the original purpose of the Titan Astrobase. Sadly, they're undergoing some light renovation. Otherwise,
This
there'd
is
be
where I came
interactive
in, I think.
activities for kids to learn
Yeah.
about how they used to search for
Hi there.
microbial life here.
Always nice to see a new face.
Okay.
Pardon the dust, but I can still answer some questions about the old Titan Astrobase biolabs.
What kind of life did they find here?
Funny you should ask.
Is
Sadly, none. See, NASA funded the Titan Astrobase project because conditions seemed ripe for primordial life to form in Titan's methane pools. They tested many different sites, performed deep core ice drilling, and more, yet nothing turned up.
So that was it? What did they use these labs for after no life was found?
Well, NASA defunded the xenobiology program in 2132, but a scientist by the name of Catherine Neely proposed research into advanced colony building on inhospitable worlds. So, by 2135, work began on what would ultimately set us all up to create habitats anywhere humans dared to explore. These very labs housed the computer systems used in that research. That and general storage for the colony. Lots of storage.
Okay, you keep mentioning the Titan Astrobase. Tell me more about that.
I'm sorry. I completely forgot to mention that. That's what this place was originally called. When NASA divested its interest in the Astrobase and turned it over to the people back in 2185, they renamed it New Homestead and established it as a historical site.
Okay. I don't think there's anything for me to take a closer look at, so we can keep moving.
On to our next stop. Next, we'll be heading outside,
Welcome to
so
New Homestead.
make sure to check those seals on your suit because it's a bit chilly out there. We're going out into the frozen wastes of Titan to see what powers this planet.
It's
Watch
a
your
little
step
really?
outside,
People
by the
come
way.
here to
The
see
ice
what
can be
early colony
slippery
life
if you're
is
not
like.
careful.
Okay, well, I better put my suit on then.
To
The
me,
goal is
it's
to
just how we
keep
live.
people out of Dr. Lakota's infirmary.
I hope I don't freeze my butt off. Oh. Oh. That was fast. Quick change.
Anyway, where were we? Oh, yes. Powering New Homestead. As you might imagine, generating energy was a real challenge back in the day because the technology was much more crude then. But crude or not, it was that technology that sustained the old Astrobase. And it might surprise you to learn that the same technology is still working today. The interesting thing about this old colony is that it's mostly powered by clean, renewable energy. You'll see one of the methods used on the horizon up ahead. That's right, New Homestead's famous wind farms. This spot was chosen for the colony in part because of its constant winds. These turbines have been integral to the colony's function since its establishment.
That one
as a
looks
cheap,
broken in the center there,
mostly
doesn't it?
reliable source of electricity. So, let's talk about wind power, shall we?
I didn't think Titan was all that windy.
You're right. Most surface wind on Titan isn't too terribly strong, but here, the altitude and other conditions are perfect for sustained wind power. Like many worlds with atmosphere, the higher you go, the windier it gets.
Okay, and what's so interesting about wind power? Why is this part of the tour?
You're looking at a piece of history. Sure, wind power is used throughout the galaxy, but these people were able to make do with it for hundreds of years. It's impressive that was all they had back then, and still make it work to this day.
Do those turbines really power the entire colony?
Mostly. I'm sure you've noticed the occasional brownouts. I guess these old machines have a habit of freezing up, what with all the ice out here. There's some methane on reserve for critical life support systems, but everything else here is otherwise powered by the units you see here.
Okay, I think I want to take a closer look.
Careful, though. I wouldn't stand too close to the turbines if I were you.
Okay. Well, this one looks busted. That's probably the cause of the brownouts. There we go. What's that? Ice. Alright. Well, there, I fixed it. No more brownouts. Alright, let's move on.
So, let's talk about wind power, shall we?
Oh,
You're
let's
the
go.
boss. Let's go. Moving
That's what I
right
said.
along, we're going to learn about Titan's great natural resources. Titan is rich with hydrocarbons like methane and ethane. Surely you saw huge pools of the stuff on your descent into New Homestead. I like to think they add to the natural beauty of this world. Though, of course, stay away from them because, like anything beautiful, they can be dangerous. Just like my last ex-wife's pet. She had this gorgeous, I don't know what you'd call it, creature. The guy that sold it to her couldn't tell her what it was or where it was from. I don't think it was even a legal sell, to be honest. The thing was very easy on the eyes. Feathers, all the colors of the rainbow. Nasty bite, though. Wound up in the hospital and almost lost my hand. Still not enough for her to get rid of the dang thing. Anyway, there's a reason she's my ex-wife. But enough about me. We were talking about methane and other resources, right? Hey, can you believe it? Back in the 20th century on Earth, they used to fight wars over natural resources like this and petroleum. They had this whole moon here basically made of hydrocarbons in their own backyard. They just couldn't get to it. Incredible how far we've come. New Homestead is home to one of the oldest and largest methane processing plants in the settled system. Every year, UC engineers go through a painstaking, month-long maintenance process. That's how this place has remained operational as long as it has. I'm not going to take you too close to the machinery, liability and all, but I can still answer questions. Questions? Fire away!
How can they shut the plant down for maintenance if people rely on it to live?
Yeah, it's not as if they shut down for a month. It's not shut down at all, actually. See, this place is built with redundant systems, so they can shut it down piece by piece and suffer only a reduction in throughput. During that time, the UC gets more of its resources from other places, allowing New Homestead to maintain what it needs.
Okay, what do they do with all this methane?
Exports mostly, since this world is so methane rich and has the infrastructure for it, a lot of the UC's methane comes from Titan. Of course, new homesteaders use it themselves for everything from generating heat to turning it into breathable oxygen by a modern science.
Wait, how do they turn methane into oxygen?
No one's ever asked me that before. Something to do with methane-eating microbes, I believe? I honestly don't know. Sorry.
Okay. I'd like to take a moment
Take
here.
your time. But not too much time. Don't want to keep other customers waiting, you know.
Okay. Just want to take a little look around the place since we're out here. What's going on here? Who are you? Tourist. Tourist.
People could live out here.
Tourist. Okay. Can I get inside this building somehow? I know I've got a bunch of quests to talk to people. Maybe one of the people I gotta talk to is in here.
used to get more tourists than we do these days.
Oh, you used to get even more tourists? The doctor seems to think there's too many tourists. Citizen.
You get used to the methane processing smell.
Citizen.
After a while.
New Homestead. Oh, I guess there's nobody interesting in here that I need to talk to. Why is all of this here? This seems sinister. Like there's some kind of quest or something involved. Oh, there's a mine here. Interesting. Oh shit. Heat leech. I have a sneaking suspicion that those are what turn into terramorphs. I haven't confirmed that suspicion yet. I don't want the nutrient. But I've only just started the Vanguard quest where we're going to be learning more about the terramorphs, and they were saying, oh, for some reason terramorphs show up on any world where there's humans after about 70 to 100 years. And we don't know why. And I was thinking, well, clearly,
nice to get off world sometime.
If they're showing up wherever humans go.
You'll freeze solid without the proper protection.
Facility, storage, clinic. Anyway, oh, this is back into the museum, I think. Yeah, there's the brown horse. Okay, I'll go back outside and collect Bill. Anyway,
I don't mind the tourists.
But I was thinking if they show up wherever tourists show up, or tourists, if they show up wherever humans show up, then, you know, clearly it's something the humans are carrying around with them somehow. And what would that be, right? And then I remembered that every time I go to a shipyard, they always say, remember to check your ship for heat leeches.
Those folks in Sidonia may be closer to Earth, but we do a better job.
But you don't actually have to check your ship for heat leeches. Like, that's not a thing that matters in the game. So I'm like, why would they say that? Uh-huh. So that's my suspicion, is those little heat leech things are like terramorph larvae or something. Because they also look a lot like the aliens. I was saying that the other day, too. The terramorphs kind of look like the alien creatures from the Alien movie, or, you know, the idea of the terramorphs, especially that one quest I did where there was like a tracker and it was beeping when it got closer to me. It was like the movie Aliens. And, or Alien or whatever, whichever movie it was. I watched both Alien and the sequel Aliens recently. So they kind of all blur together. But, I had looked at one of those little heat leeches and thought, man, that looks a lot like the alien when it like bursts out of your stomach, right? So yeah, I'm just putting 2 and 2 and 3 and 4 all together and coming up with a theory.
Questions? Fire away.
All right, let's move on.
Okie dokie, artichoke. There will be time for more later anyway. So, this next stop is a bit of an interesting one. I only recently made it part of the tour.
Oh, we're going to go in the building I was just in.
Only natural landmark on the tour.
Oh, no.
What we're about to see is a glacial spire we affectionately call Ymir's Horn.
Ooh,
this
cool.
colossus used to be named after a character in a popular fantasy novel, but it was changed a couple hundred years ago to avoid any potential litigation. Now, what's a colossus, you might say? Colossus derives from the Latin word for hill, and scientists only gave names to groups of hills on a planet's surface. So in reality, the term you hear more often is the plural, coles. with an E. You probably don't hear it very often where you're from, because it was usually a term reserved for unexplored planets, back when they didn't have the technology to describe what they were seeing firsthand. Because of that, the term is much more common in the Sol system, but you may still hear it occasionally in reference to uncharted worlds. This planet's full of them, though, and they like to preserve that history here.
So this was originally named after a fantasy character in a fantasy novel, but they had to change the name. I wonder what it was originally going to be. And I wonder if that's like Bethesda had wanted to name it something and then couldn't get permission from their lawyers to name it that thing, so they changed it in the game. Ymir is a giant, I think. From Norse mythology? That's my ship right there. I'm just curious, looking around this thing. Titanium. I'm just curious if there was anything interesting up here. Oh, hey, Zeke. Take a selfie. Blizzard. Yeah, I'm out in a cold, cold planet, Stella. I know you like the snow. Yeah, I would not in a million years have thought that I would continue playing this game as long as I have. But I'm glad I've found some stuff that I enjoy, and I'm really sad that, like, there's some decent content in this game. But it's like buried behind so much other stuff that it's weird. It's weird that they didn't seem to take like their really good quests and their really good, interesting locations and interesting quest lines and things and kind of like push them more forward. A lot of stuff that I've found in this game that I've enjoyed the most has just been weird, random things that didn't seem all that important, but then I, pursued them down the rabbit hole and found some cool stuff. don't know, it's weird. And I think that worked against them. Because the game's not terribly popular. I mean, it's done all right, but not as well as you would expect for a Bethesda game, and a lot of people played it, tried it out, dropped it, you know. And that's unfortunate, because, like, really, if you just... I know, I was frustrated with it because people were like, well, you know, it gets more interesting after 40 hours, and I'm like, oh, geez, why would I play something for 40 hours if it's not interesting? But yeah, I'm glad I stuck with this and got to the good stuff. I think if anyone else was going to play this game, I would highly recommend ignoring Constellation completely. Like, you can't ignore them in the very beginning of the game. Just ignore the beginning of the game. Just get your ship, get the robot, get off the mining planet, and ignore the rest of that. Just don't even... It's not worth it. But, you know, get into the Vanguard, get into the Free Star Republic, get into the Crimson Fleet quest line, go be a pirate, or fight pirates, or whatever you're gonna do. You know, there's a lot of fun stuff in here. Alright, well, let's see what else he's got to say
here it is,
before we freeze to death.
Ymir's horn. You're free to take a closer look if you like.
Already did. Ymir, who's that?
According to ancient Norse mythology, Ymir was the first Jotun, a frost giant. In the legend, they were both male and female and gave birth to the progenitors of all giants from their armpits. Ymir even predated the Norse gods, who, as it turns out, killed Ymir to fashion the earth and all of humanity from the corpse. It's a fascinating story, and the horn here is a fitting tribute to it.
And how did this form? Colis?
I've heard this particular formation was caused by an ancient volcano. Something about steam and wind, then worn down over time. But I'm not 100% sure.
Okay, I think
Excellent.
I'm done here.
On to the next stop, then. So, we're gonna head back inside, through the methane processing plant. Try not to touch anything on your way. We want to make sure to respect Dr. Lakota's wishes to be safer around here. Ah, that brings me to another point. You'll notice the people around here have last names related to where their families originated from on Earth, as a way to remember the past. The museum curator, Maurice Lyon, has more information about that if you're interested. You can find him inside the main concourse. Loves talking about it. You'll find most of the locals here are very friendly to tourists like yourself. Tourism is a major draw to this colony these days, and I respect that. Most of them are happy to talk at length about what they do here. Their rugged lifestyle is a point of pride for a lot of these folks.
It's a little weird that people come here to see what early colony life was like. To me, it's just how we live.
Alright, I am thinking I might be able to scare these tourists with my monster costume, so let's switch over to that quest real quick. Yeah, scare the tourists. Alright, here we go. Let's sneak over here and change into our costume.
It's going to eat us!
Ah, rah. Arr. That was kind of fun. Alright. I've got everything back on. Let's go find Bill. Hey Klaus, welcome to the chat room. How are you doing today?
Since methane production is such an important part of the colony's livelihood, it's important that the techs notice any issues and react to them quickly. Anyway, we're headed into the ice mines. It's a natural spring where water bubbles up from deep below, but due to the cold, it keeps freezing as it reaches the surface.
Okay. We were just here a little bit ago. We kind of came out ahead of him. Oh. Cool. Oh. This looks a lot like, Dunwich Quarry in Fallout 4. Wow. Oh, Claus is having an okay day, it sounds like, and some Fallout 4. Nice. Claus is saying, do not agree, you can get it all, do the main quest, and then do the rest. Well, I was saying earlier, you might not have caught me, I was saying that a lot of people were bored by the game when they first started playing it. There's a lot of people I've read online, people talking about it, and of course the statistics bearing it out that if 40 hours is the average length of gameplay time for the 13 million people that Bethesda said was playing Starfield, or had played Starfield. And, you know, if 40 hours is the average, then that means there's a lot of people who didn't play it for 40 hours, like, you know, and a lot that played more than that, but I'm just saying, you know, if the majority of the players, half the players were playing for 40 hours or less, that's not enough to, like, find all the good stuff in this game. I mean, I was playing for 40 hours and I was bored out of my mind, but, you know, I eventually found some stuff that I really enjoyed, and so I'm just saying, you know, if you're like me and you start playing this game and you're like, oh god, this is awful and it's boring and where's the good stuff, you know, maybe ignore the main quest line, ignore some of the side quests, the piddly little side quests, you know, talking to NPCs and whatnot. But it's hard to know, because, like, some people you talk to and they have the stupidest quests in the world that are really boring or glitched, and then other people you talk to and they have really cool quests that are fun to do, and, like, you don't know, you know. So, like, for me, the majority of my time, the first 40 hours, was spent doing some really stupid stuff that I thought was really boring. You know, I don't play video games so that I can, like, sit in board meetings and be an admin assistant and get a job at a fishery and, like, all these things I've done in real life. Like, who wants to play a sci-fi game for that? Not me. So, but yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff in this game, and I was just saying how, like, a lot of it seems to be kind of buried. Like, like, Bethesda didn't take the stuff that was really fun and engaging and complex, like the Relief Region questline, or the Free Star Republic questline, or the Vanguard questline, and really, like, bring it forward so that people would be sure not to miss it. I think people are just playing this game and they're doing a little bit of the main story, and the main story is not hooking them, and then they're giving up on it. And I was just saying that, you know, if that's the case for people, then ignore the main storyline and go find some other things to do, because, you know, like, my husband kept telling me, just ignore the main storyline if you don't like it. Go be a Free Star Ranger, go join the Vanguard, you know, go do this other stuff. I really enjoyed the Crimson Fleet questline. I thought that was a lot of fun. And for people who maybe want to become pirates, that's perfect. That's where you should start. You know, it's like in Skyrim, if you want to become an assassin, go do the Dark Brotherhood questline. Don't waste your time doing a bunch of other stuff. Go straight for the Dark Brotherhood. Or if you want to be a mage, go straight for the College of Winterhold. People who played Skyrim had that issue too years ago. They would start playing it and be like, I can't get into this. I don't really like it. I want to be an assassin. I don't want to join the companions. Or I want to be a mage. Where do I get better mage stuff or whatever? And I would always tell people, you know, decide what you want to be. If you want to be a thief, go find the Thieves Guild. If you want to be a mage, go find the College of Winterhold. If you want to be an assassin, go find the Dark Brotherhood. Like, don't get caught up doing other quests and stuff until you're like the character you want to be and you've gotten, you know, into the game the way you want to get into it. And I think that may be true for Starfield too. You know, different people play the game different ways, but in the beginning of the game, it's not obvious that you can play in different ways or have different backgrounds or have different storylines and stuff. So, yeah. I'm just saying. I mean, if you like the main storyline, do it. But if you don't, if you start playing the game and you're like, oh god, this is a snooze fest, then, you know, don't give up on the game. Find some other stuff to do. Because I think there's some decent stuff in there. And I'm glad that I kept playing it. I mean, it's not the best game in the world. It's, you know, for me, it's definitely not in my top 10. I wouldn't put it up there with, like, God of War or Skyrim or Fallout or any of the Fallouts. Or Outer Worlds or Greedfall or any of those games that I really like, but it's not bad. I mean, I keep going. I keep finding more and more interesting stuff. So yeah, I'm just saying, you know, anybody that wants to give up on the game, maybe don't give up on it so easily. But that's true of I think most of Bethesda's games. I remember a lot of people, you know, saying, ignore the main storyline in Skyrim. The main story is the worst part of the game. Or people saying, you know, ignore the main story in Fallout 3, just go exploring, that's the best part of the game, or whatever, you know. But the thing is, I think that's where some people are getting hung up. What is that right there? Whoa, not a lot of gravity here, huh? I'm getting like a weird thing on that, but I can't scan it. Huh, okay. People are getting hung up on this game because they're saying that the exploration is not great. Because, and I do think it is harder to figure out where to go in this game and what to do. Like in Skyrim, you have a map and you know if you walk in a direction, you're going to run into content. You're going to run into some kind of side quest or some kind of random encounter or some kind of thing to do.
Happy to
resources to pick up or whatever. Oh, okay, dude. But in this game, a lot of people have complained, like, oh, it's so boring. I go to a planet and there's nothing to do. And then I go to another planet and there's nothing to do. And then I don't really know where else to go to find stuff to do. And it's repetitive. And the points of interest are repetitive and all that kind of stuff. So, like, you can't really play this the same way that you would play Skyrim or Fallout. You can't just pick a direction and go in it, and in a minute you're going to trip across something interesting. In a way, I kind of like that. I mean, I kind of appreciate that this is space, and I've been enjoying some of the vistas of the planets. You know, you land on a planet, and it's a planet, like it would be in space. There's nothing there to do. You know, it's a rock, and that's kind of cool. But it is frustrating if you're the kind of person that's like, I don't want to stand here on a rock and look at space and, you know, do the same ecliptic base point of interest over and over again. Yeah, I get that. So yeah, it's not necessarily great for exploration the way that past Bethesda games have been good for exploration. If people are coming to the game for that and they're not getting it, I totally understand that. I mean, I was frustrated too. I was like, oh god, this is so boring. Nothing is, you know, no, there's not much that's very interesting or whatever, but Yeah, I think I had to find the interesting stuff, and I did, and I'm glad that I did find some interesting stuff. So I don't regret it. This guy had a name though. Let's go talk to him.
People on other planets have these free-flowing water, fresh from lakes and rivers. Not here.
Another tourist come to learn about the ice mines, huh? It's dangerous in the ice mines.
Why are you wearing a hefty
I'd much rather
bag?
answer your questions than have you going off to explore on your own.
Probably so he doesn't get all wet, right? What's so dangerous about the ice mines? Ice mines? Why do you need to mine ice? Why don't you have robots, machines to do this work? Oh, probably because it's like, well, this is the way they did it when they first built the settlement.
For one, New Homestead is not a wealthy colony. But we also pride ourselves on doing things the old ways. It's part of the living history, they say. We don't mind. We work hard here, and it's very rewarding.
Okay, so why do you need to mine ice?
For drinking water.
For your drinks, of course.
We use some of it to produce this air you're breathing.
Cool.
We recycle a lot of what we use, but we still need a nice, steady supply of fresh water. Lucky for us, Titan provides.
What's so dangerous about the ice
I'm
mines?
surprised I still get this question. It's slippery, it's sharp, it can break, it can cave in. Those are just the obvious examples. Titan is also full of methane, which can sometimes be trapped under the ice. As you know, methane can explode under the right conditions. It can also asphyxiate you if you breathe in too much of it.
Okay, as a fellow miner, I can respect the dangers you face. Mining ice doesn't seem as dangerous as you make it out to be, and I'm not going to be like that.
Ah, so you can relate. It's good to talk with someone who understands the challenges of the job. Not everyone does. If I might ask, what do you mine?
Oh gosh, little of this, little of that. Minerals to be sold for industrial purposes. One time I mined a mysterious artifact. I don't really want to talk about my mining experience. Nunya, as in Nunya business. I'll say minerals mostly.
I can respect that. We used to do more traditional mining like that here, but it made much more sense to do it off-world, since it takes a lot more effort for less gain. We mostly export methane and other natural gases instead. Anyway, I'm sure we could swap mining stories all day, but I really should be getting back to what I was doing soon.
Okay.
Stay
bye.
safe.
I guess I've exhausted all your options. Yeah, that would suck if you're down here mining ice and suddenly you hit a pocket of methane and the whole place goes up. It seems kind of like they're sitting on a time bomb, really, though. I mean, if they ignite the wrong pocket of methane and it blows up the whole colony, that would be bad, right? Oh, right, where's Bill? Hey, Bill.
What else can I tell you about the ice mines?
Can I get a snow cone around here? I'm thirsty. Can I drink straight from the source? Why not heat the area like the rest of the colony? Because then it would all melt. Duh. Is this where their water comes from? Okay, I'll say I'm thirsty. Can I drink from the source?
I wouldn't recommend it. First, it's an active work site. Second, it still needs to be filtered and checked for contaminants. But don't worry, we'll stop somewhere for refreshments before the tour is over.
Okay. Why not heat the area like the rest of the colony?
Good question. I believe it has something to do with not wanting to contaminate the water with methane and other chemicals. The ice helps prevent impurities in the water. At least this is what I've been told.
And is this where all their water comes from?
All. Some water is created as a byproduct of methane processing, but that's usually saved in the emergency reserves.
Okay. Okay. I think I'm ready to go.
Sounds good. Let's keep going then. We have just one more stop before we're done with the tour, and it just happens to be my favorite. This
the Brown
colony
Horse?
is home to the longest running establishment still in existence, the Brown Horse Tavern. The Brown Horse started as a simple mess hall for the scientists and workers when the underground was built, but it's been operated by the same family ever since. Now, what's a horse, you might say? They were a large four-legged animal on Earth, often used for transportation or manual labor. Long before space travel was even a dream for the folks of Earth, even before antique machines like automobiles were possible, horses could be found everywhere. You might have seen them in old movies or read about them somewhere. If not, I highly recommend looking into them sometime. They're beautiful animals. The tavern's original owner was infatuated with them, from what I understand, and named the place in their honor. The moniker, Brown Horse Tavern, is also a throwback to names of similar Earth restaurants hundreds of years before it was established.
Careful,
cool.
there are some dangerous areas around here that are not part of any tours.
Oh, okay. Thanks for the tip.
So then I told him that we churn our own butter. And he completely bought it.
You didn't.
I did. I know I shouldn't have, but I just wanted to see how they'd react.
But aren't they going to think we're even more old-fashioned than they already believe? That's a good point. They already gawk at us like we're some sort of ancient curiosity.
Oh, I'm just trying to have a little fun. But you're probably right.
I like the look of the place. It's kind of cool. All right, let's head inside. I'd clean this up for you, but you'd probably accuse me of stealing, so... I'll just push it out of the way.
That delicious smell is making me hungry. Can I answer anything about the Brown Horse?
What can you tell me about the owner, I guess?
Anja Seattle is the current owner of the Brown Horse. It's been in the Seattle family for generations. But Anja will be able to tell you more herself. Feel free to ask her. It doesn't feel right coming from me when she's standing right over there.
Okay, any menu recommendations?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I honestly love everything Anja serves here. I'd be doing her a disservice to recommend one dish over another. You want the real answer? Order one of everything.
How could this possibly be the oldest restaurant in the settled systems? Well, duh, because isn't this like the first off-world colony?
Easy. All the other ones fell to ruin when we abandoned Earth. There were technically older ones on Mars, but those have long since shuttered or been replaced.
Oh, okay. Older ones on Mars. All right, I'm not ready to move on yet.
Oh, yeah, by all means. Stop in for a moment.
Okay. Well, let's have a look around. Come on in, Zeke. The water's fine.
Off-worlders always ask how I can live here. I wonder how they can live anywhere
Those
else.
folks in Sidonia may be closer to Earth, but we do a better job preserving its traditions.
Lots of history here, if you're into
I don't think people in Sidonia are interested in preserving
nice
tradition.
To get off-world sometime.
Notepad.
How about those brownouts last week?
You get used to the
I
methane
know.
processing smell.
I'm just
after a
glad the
while.
auxiliary power picked up. Remember that time a few years back where everyone had to...
All right,
Welcome
nobody
to the
interesting in
Brown
here,
Horse.
huh?
Welcome. I'm Anja. Is this your first time with us at the Brown Horse Tavern?
Joyce says she's on it. Something about
Yeah,
the
I've never been here
turbines
before.
freezing up again.
Oh, well, thank you for joining us. You're in for a real treat. We've got an assortment of food and drinks, some of which follow homemade recipes that have been passed down over hundreds of years. So, what can I do for you?
I saw the Chunks restaurant out there. Does it hurt your business?
Oh, hardly. The locals pretty much stay away from Chunks, so whenever they don't feel like cooking themselves and want a fresh meal, they come to me. Only the tourists eat that junk. But don't tell that to my husband. He manages the Chunks. I love him, but...
Oh, really?
He's a bit of a fanatic about it.
Luther, Atlanta? What is this place?
You mean the Brown Horse? Well, it's only the longest continuous running restaurant since humans started settling outside of Earth. There's a lot of history within these walls. And some damn fine food and drink, if I say so myself. This place has been in my family for generations. My however many great-grandmother opened it when the first colony started on Titan. Back then, it was a simple mess hall that she chose to put a little extra love and flavor into. And now, it's the pride of New Homestead.
That's cool. I'd like to see a menu, please.
Let me show you what we have.
Yeah, I talked to a guy over in the Chunks restaurant, and he needed some special sauce. So we got a side quest to go pick up some sauce for him, but I don't remember him mentioning he was married to the proprietor of the Brown Horse. Maybe he did, and I just don't remember, but okay. She's got all the same things everybody else has. I've seen all of these before. Pretty sure I've seen that before. Veggie grinder might be a new one I haven't seen before, but otherwise, yeah, I think I've seen all of these on other planets. Nothing terribly exciting. Okay, thanks. Bye.
Hope you'll be back sometime.
Alright, let's move on.
That delicious smell is making me hungry. Okay then. All right, we're headed to the last stop, right back where we began. Feel free to check out the museum exhibit in the main concourse here. These displays are full of rare earth trinkets salvaged from before humanity left, and Maurice is happy to talk about the collection. The museum's curator, Maurice, will be happy to talk to you if you want to know more.
Okay, I don't know where that music is coming from. It's such weird music. Is it coming from here? Jeez. Alright, my dude.
Well, that's that! I hope you enjoyed Starsap Tours as much as I enjoy giving them.
Okay, that was very educational. Thank you. I loved it. Here's a little something extra for you. It was alright. It was super boring. Yeah, my husband thought this was super boring. I'm going to give him 500 credits. I loved it.
I really appreciate it. You know, I rely on tips from good people like you, so thank you from the bottom of my heart. Enjoy the rest of your stay in New Homestead.
Take care. He was friendly and helpful and informative and everything. It was very nice. Thank you. Now I know everything I need to know about Titan, I guess. But let's look around the museum.
Hello there. The museum here is free to everyone.
Oh, hi. Okay, I'll talk to you in a minute. Okay, yeah, we got little pop-ups. This is like the Shovel Museum in New Vegas. Antique instrument of unknown origin, Earth, believed to be of West African origin. Okay. Yeah, we've seen some of these around the game already. I think I've seen this in the game before too. A range of antique Earth computers ranging from the late 1980s to the mid 2000s. Alright. Can we look at this? No, this doesn't tell us anything. These are just
There
books.
are times I envy those.
Assorted Earth Media. Tales from Space and Time by H.G. Wells. Ooh. I don't know if we've found that one before in the game or not, but it might be one that she wants at Sinclair Books. I know I've seen Origin of the Species and Frankenstein all over the place, and I've found a compact disc player before. Sailing Alone Around the World, I don't think I've ever seen in the game myself, and videotapes I have found.
You are able to travel like you?
I'll come back to you, Maurice. Hang in there. Huh, yeah. Alright, let's see what's over here. Yep, I have a piggy bank, and I have seen the duck before in the game, sure. Commercial reproductions of Earth fauna. Replicas of Earth animals were used in many different ways, from toys and games to more practical uses such as these items. Piggy bank and a decoy duck. Alright. And there's the gift shop. I'm going to go in there in a minute.
Enjoy your visit here.
Let's see, what's this say? Various Earth sports photos and memorabilia. I had a whole bunch of old sporting equipment that they gave me from the, was it the Constant? That old Earth ship. The generational ship that had made it to Paradiso. And thanks for helping me. They gave me a bunch of old Earth sporting equipment. Alright, let's look around. Yeah, like a hockey stick and stuff. Championship ice hockey stick. Okay. Miscellaneous Earth knickknacks. I thought it was interesting that they put a scroll case in this game. I don't know if it's a nod to the Elder Scrolls or what. It just seems like an unusual thing to include in the game. I've found some before, but I don't know, it's just kind of weird. Natural space debris, like asteroids and meteoroids, routinely enters planetary or moon atmospheres to impact the surface below. Okay. Space rocks. Sure. NASA, one of several Earth-based space agencies, was instrumental in humankind's earliest journeys into space. In 2107, NASA sent an unmanned probe to Titan, which paved the way for the development of the Titan Astrobase. Interesting. Collectible snow globes. Items on loan from NASA. Why would they be on loan from NASA? Does NASA still exist? I've seen a lot of this stuff in the game before. Oh, there's a NASA snow globe. I've got a bunch of other snow globes. Do I get to find a NASA one at some point? I don't have that one yet. More space debris. Okay. That one in the middle is very pretty. Very colorful. They're all pretty, but that one's colorful. Scale model of the HMS Beagle. Famous for transporting renowned scientist Charles Darwin during his famous worldwide research voyage in the 1800s. Okay. What is that? Is that a light fixture or something?
Hey, you don't have to be nervous about asking me if
I don't know if I've ever seen that object in the game before. scale model of the RB Calypso, commissioned by the British Royal Navy as a minesweeper vessel and launched in 1942. Later repurposed, by famed Earth oceanographic researcher Jacques Cousteau in 1950. Interesting.
Always take care of you. Bought something off a tourist real cheap. I think you're gonna like it. I'll drop by with it later, after I clean it out.
Wow.
Okay, I think that's everything in the museum.
This is a boring assignment.
Don't worry about it. You just keep on being you. Hi there. Welcome to my little shop.
Hi, Jay. Is this the lady we talked to in the
I know you
crates?
didn't have to give me money, but thanks. I appreciate it.
Yeah, it's the same lady. Okay. Hey, Jay.
Well, hello there, and welcome to my little shop. Are you visiting New Homestead for the first time?
Maybe. Sometimes I party too hard and wind up in strange places. That's a weird dialogue line. I'll say it, though.
Oh, that's funny. It happens to the best of us, I guess. I'm Jay. I'm happy to help you find what you're looking to buy or take a look at whatever you want to sell. Trades of all kinds are welcome here. Or if you have any questions for me about the shop, the merchandise, or even just New Homestead in general, I'm happy to help you.
Okay. You mentioned something about trading. What sorts of things are you looking for? What do you think of all the tourists who come to visit? Do you sell any souvenirs or anything like that? I'll start there.
I used to, but not anymore. Believe it or not, the New Homestead Tourism Board decided a while back to do away with souvenirs.
Oh, that's a bummer.
We don't really have the resources or facilities to make them here ourselves, and it was decided that anything less than that would seem exploitive of our people and inauthentic.
Yeah, that's
only thing we
that's
have
fair.
are these souvenir slates about the history of New Homestead. Tell you what, I've got an extra one here that another guest left behind a while back. You can have it.
Okay, thanks. What do you think of all the tourists who come to visit?
I love them. Most of us in New Homestead appreciate what tourism does for our economic livelihood, so we go out of our way to make guests feel welcome. Some are indifferent about it, while a few others, I won't name names, are downright resentful of all the tourists and would prefer to be left alone. But that being said, I believe our generally friendly demeanor is a large part of what drives people to keep coming back.
Okay, you mentioned something about trading. What sort of things are you looking for?
Glad you asked. I'm looking for all sorts of things. Anything, really. Clothing, weapons, jewelry, even stuff they consider junk. You name it. We don't get a lot of off-world stock, so I offer to buy things from travelers. Anything they're willing to part with. Between you and me, people around here talk a lot about tradition and whatnot, but even they get curious about what other worlds have to offer.
Interesting. So he's basically saying he'll buy anything from me. I'll take a look at what
Sure
you're selling.
thing. I'm also interested in buying if you have anything for sale.
Okay. You don't have a lot of credits though, my dude. Let's see what he's got. All kinds of random stuff. What coffee mugs does he have? Alright. Oh, he's got some digipics. I was getting low on those at one point. A fine dining fork. Ooh, fancy. Pinkies up. Well, he really does just have a mix of any old thing, doesn't he? Mercury. I could go make that medicine I was looking at earlier. New Homestead, live history. Oh, he's got a bunch of those. He gave me one though, so I don't need to buy it, right? Settler Adventure Hat. Isn't that what Sam Coe wears? I kind of like that. It's similar to Ezekiel's, but I think Ezekiel's is gray or white to indicate he's a good guy. Shadows in the Attic. I don't think I've ever seen that book before. I'll buy it. He's got a lot of synthamite. Okay, let's see what we can sell him. I don't think I've got anything extra. Yeah, see, I'm getting low on digipicks. But I might have a bunch of junk to sell him off my ship. Yeah. Have I got some junk for you, my dude? $22 coffee mugs. You could just write New Homestead on them with a black Sharpie and sell them as sell them as souvenirs. Funnel. All this junk gets put into my hold every time I work on my ship, so... It's kind of a pain in the neck, but, you know, if I don't get rid of it over time, it's going to build up. And weigh me down. Oh, I've been selling them a bunch of stuff and not getting any money for it. That's fine. I don't care. I just wanted to get rid of it. Okay.
Take care.
Bye. I don't know if I've ever seen that coffee mug before.
I'm always looking to trade for off-world goods.
We put the something in mast. Yeah. I don't know if I've seen that one before. Alright. Let's go talk to Maurice.
We live a simple life on New Homestead, but make no mistake, it's fulfilling. Hello there. Are you here to peruse our little museum exhibit?
Yes, I was looking at some of the items in the collection. Not yet, but I was planning on it. I didn't know it was a museum. Museums aren't my thing. You can't just put crappy old junk on display and call it a museum. I want to say that. But I'm going to be nice. I'll say yes.
Wonderful. These are all rare artifacts from before the collapse of Earth.
They can't be too rare.
There isn't much of this stuff left outside of private collections, but here we're happy to share a glimpse of them with the public.
What are you talking about,
If you have any
dude?
questions about the exhibit or New Homestead, I'm happy to answer as best as I can.
I've seen tons of this crap all over the galaxy. Can you tell me more about the exhibit? Who are you and what do you do? well, I guess we'll start at the top. Tell me about the exhibit.
Of course. Certainly.
Very slowly. Make sure you go
have
slowly.
Several items in our collection that we rotate in and out over time, but they all originate from the same place. Earth. We have everything from toys to antique technology to sports
You don't have a motorcycle
memorabilia.
collection.
We even used to have an
I have a
old
motorcycle
Earth
collection.
vehicle, but we had to sell it when we ran out of space for it.
Ran out of
Most
space.
Of our
Dude, there's tons of space
was
here.
donated by fellow Earth enthusiasts and historians who felt it belonged close to the homeland here in the Sol system.
Yeah, there's nothing in this museum that I haven't found all over the galaxy. I should be bringing stuff to them. There should be a quest where I bring them all the weird, rare Earth artifacts I find.
I apologize. Could you speak up?
I'll get there. Who are you and what do you do around here?
I am Maurice Lyon, and I am the community elder. As the oldest living citizen at 96, my
96?
only job is to keep Earth history alive.
You're looking pretty good for
tell
96,
stories
Pop.
to the young people and the visitors from other worlds.
I love
Although
the young
my
people.
memory isn't what it used to be, I try my best to get the stories right.
Okay. Could you tell me a story about Earth?
Sure, I'd love to. There was once a war so big that they say all of the world was involved. This was actually the second time it happened. They fought because a terrible man named Hitler rose to power and slaughtered many innocents. Millions were lost. Even the colony war pales in comparison.
Wow, that wasn't much of a story, but okay. It's more like an anecdote or a factoid, but but all right. Do you have any more Earth stories?
Why, certainly. It's what I do. There was a time when huge monstrosities called dinosaurs ruled over Earth, long before humans existed. They were similar to some of the larger life forms you might see elsewhere in the settled systems. Their reign ended when I can never remember if it was a comet, an asteroid, or a meteor that hit the Earth. Whatever it was, it nearly wiped out most of the life at that time.
Hey, Ansgar, I see you in the chat room. How you doing? Welcome, welcome. Claus is saying I should buy a Hope Tech cap after you killed Ron Hope. I don't know if I might have one somewhere. I might have come across one at some point. What? Tell me another story? Have time to tell another story? Sure.
Let me think of a good one.
Okay.
A long time ago, thousands of years, humans built a wall so large it spanned the northern length of one of Earth's largest empires, China. They called it the Great Wall of China, and it was meant to keep out invading hordes. If I recall correctly, it didn't always work as well as they had hoped. I'll have to look it up again. Memory's not what it once was.
Okay. What can you tell me about how New Homestead came to be? Well, he probably won't tell me anything I don't already know, but let's see what he says.
It's an interesting story. New Homestead began as a scientific research base called the Titan Astrobase, back when space travel was in its infancy. The hope was that humanity would be able to discover simple alien life here given the moon's composition and water supply. When that ultimately failed, it was repurposed as a colony research base, where scientists and engineers studied how to build colonies on inhospitable worlds. Then, finally, when gravity drives were commonplace and we started finding Earth-like planets, New Homestead was born as a living history community to preserve that past.
Everyone here has such interesting family names. What's the deal with that? Well, Bill already told us that people take the names of the old Earth cities where their families come from. So if your family, if you were living in London, let's say, and your family left Earth and settled here in New Homestead, you would change your last name to London. But all right, we'll let him tell it.
When our early colonists learned of Earth's demise, they decided to take on the names of their cities of origin as a way to remember their heritage. Now, some may have been lost in translation over the years, and some may have taken it more seriously than others, but the names are mostly accurate. For instance, my family comes from the city of Lyon, in a country that was called France.
All right, everything is grayed out. I guess we've talked to him.
Thanks
all
for
we
visiting.
Can talk. Thank you for the talk, Maurice. Okay, let's take a look here. We've got some quests. We got to return to Giuliana. She's the doctor that wanted us to frighten everyone. Well, frighten the tourists, not the residents. She doesn't like the tourists. Let's go back and tell her we frightened some tourists.
I want to get a spaceship when I'm older. They're so cool.
I'll treat you if you need it, but please try to be more careful around here.
Where'd you get a costume like that anyway?
I bought it from a private seller. They said they got it from someone who wore it in a secondary school as their sports team mascot. I guess it was supposed to be a tardigrade or something. Anyway,
That's
the person
what it
I
looked
bought
like.
it from modified it a bit so they could use it in an independent movie they were making. But I guess that went nowhere, so they had to sell it. Lucky me, I suppose.
Okay. I scared off the tourists for you.
I'll bet they won't be coming back anytime soon. Thank you. With any luck, I'll be able to give more attention to my regular patients now. Tell you what, if you want to come back later and do this for me a couple more times, I'll even let you keep the costume.
Nice. Alright. Got a little XP, got a little money, had a little fun. What else can we do here? Alright, I think there were some activities. Yeah, speak with Joyce. I think that's here. Who's Joyce?
Hi there. Always nice seeing a new face.
Joyce is over there somewhere. Okay. How do we get to Joyce?
The elders say that preserving our tradition is so important.
Hello.
Energy Systems Office. Okay. Hello? Oh, maybe she's the one I gotta talk to about breaking ice off of her wind turbines. That one in the middle there was broken, and I knocked some ice off of it.
I love this moon and its people.
Equipment review. Wind turbines continue to ice up. They're the originals, and this being New Homestead and all, it seems fitting to keep them that way. Recommendation is to keep administering repairs, replacing them, while sensible is both costly and diminishes the classic appeal of New Homestead. As such, I will decline sending a proposal to the appropriate parties at the UC Energy Department. Yeah, well, I mean, I just used a mining cutter and knocked the ice right off of there, so it shouldn't have been too difficult. I'm gonna drop that, because I don't care about keeping it. Live history, let's look at it. Soul, the cradle of humanity, the sun. It's hard to imagine a time where all of humanity lived under one singular sun. But until the mid-22nd century and the invention of the gravity drive, that was all we had. Humans have existed for nearly 200,000 years, and all of them came from a planet called Earth, the third planet in the Sol system. Without Earth, you wouldn't be here. Titan Astrobase. The people of Earth first sent an unmanned craft to Saturn's moon, Titan, in 2107. The Titan Astrobase was completed in 2130 to search for life beyond Earth. Though fruitless, it laid the groundwork for what would eventually become humanity's greatest endeavor, settling the universe. So that's why this is a tourist spot. This is where it all began. Well, I mean, this and Earth. Scientists and engineers used Titan to perfect planetary colony building. A new home in old history. New Homestead was officially established in 2185 as a living memorial to humanity's ingenuity and perseverance. Citizens of the settled systems were invited to visit and learn about our important history. This fascinating approach to education allowed visitors to see how the early colonists lived and worked. Sights to behold. See the majestic ice peaks of New Homestead's frozen land formations as frosty winds blew through the thick clouds overhead. Witness the powerhouse of the UC's most valued methane processing plants, then warm up with a hot meal at humanity's longest-running dining establishment after Earth, the Brown Horse Tavern. There's my Settler's Adventure hat. And Shadows in the Attic. Let's take a look at this. In 2297, then unknown author Paul Lamont published the horror novel Shadows in the Attic. It quickly went on to become one of the highest-grossing books in the settled systems. Martin, standing on the front lawn, peered up at the small attic window. "What do you see, Marty? Do you see the little girl, the ghost everyone is so afraid of?" Eva asked, almost laughing at the absurdity of the local legend. "No, not a ghost," Martin responded. "Only shadows." Okay. Sure, whatever. Alright, Joyce?
Oh, hello there. Are you here about the brownouts? That's usually the only reason people come up here to talk to me, since I'm the power system manager here.
Actually, yes, I came to talk about the brownouts. Brownouts? Came to chat. You're in charge of the power here? Get it? Charge?
Oh. Yep, I get it all right. Yes, I'm in charge of the electrical power here. We generate a lot of wind-based power here on Titan, which is my specialty, so I was tapped to help navigate all the unique challenges we face here. Shocking, I know.
Oh, alright. What's the deal with the brownouts?
Yes, the power shortages we're experiencing. Haven't you seen the flickering lights?
No,
This
I haven't
equipment is
noticed.
all very old, and the protections against the cold have worn down, so now, brownouts, all the time. And I get to deal with it. Hooray for me.
Okay, sounds like a problem.
You have no idea. Worse, I'm stuck up here overseeing the whole system, and we don't currently have anyone available to go out there and take care of the problem.
Already handled. I don't know if you noticed, but like I already knocked the ice off of it.
Actually, that's not a bad idea. I'm a little new to the job, and I'll admit I'm struggling a little bit. I could use some help.
What are you struggling with?
So I really want to impress everyone and show them I can handle this. But the power equipment is ancient and in need of replacement, if I'm being honest. We just don't have the money in the budget right now to do it. The previous technician was adamant that it was better to repair than replace. So he never submitted any replacement plans for budget considerations. We have to wait for next year.
All right, so what do you need?
I could use someone who's handy with a laser cutter to break up the ice that's formed on some of the power system machinery out there. That should clear up the shorts we've been experiencing.
Already done.
And stop the brownouts. Does that sound like something you can do?
Yep. Sure, no problem. I know my way around a cutter.
Oh, thank you. I guess I'm lucky you showed up then. Just be careful not to hurt yourself or the equipment. I'll continue to monitor things from here.
Oh, there's more than one ice deposit. All right, I've done 1 of 5. Okay. I will head out there and do the rest. Claus is asking, why is this called brownouts? Well, when the power goes out completely, we call it a blackout. But if the power is not out completely, it's just not working. Like if it's, you know, working intermittently, flickering, or if it's like really low level power, so things are just very dark, it's called a brownout. It just means that the power is there sometimes, but it's inconsistent. It's not a full-on blackout. Oh, she's got a copy of History of the Pirates. That's one of the valuable books that Sinclair will buy from you if she's never bought one before. But there's several copies of it around the game, and I've already sold one to her, so... Personal log, Joyce. I'll read it.
Me? I guess? My therapist told me I should try recording notes to myself as a way to, cope with this drastic life change.
Drastic
I guess
life
the goal
change.
is to look back on it later and see progress. Anyway, I've been living here in New Homestead for, 3 months now? And it hasn't been easy. The locals are a little wary of people coming in from the outside, but they know they need me here because their previous power systems manager died unexpectedly.
Under mysterious circumstances?
With a suit puncture.
Oh,
Alcohol may have been
no.
involved.
Uh-oh,
Remind me not
ouch.
to make that same mistake. Where was I? So, I decided to go all in and change my family name to show these people I'm serious about their home. It's caused some drama with my parents, but ultimately, they understand. And to be honest, I kind of like it. I've always loved the history of this place, from its inception as an outpost searching for life, to researching how to build colonies on harsh worlds, and now as a living history museum.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
Really? Crap. The lights are struggling to stay on again. Well, back to fixing this place. Talk to you, me, later.
So where does one find a therapist on Titan? I don't know. Is she talking to the doctor? Or is there someone else working as a therapist here? Or is she doing like a remote thing from the UC or something? Like the little girl who's doing remote learning? Oh, I see. It got a little bit dark. See that? Oh, and then it came back on. Nope, it's kind of dark here. Or maybe that's just me. Oh yeah, alright, it's just me moving around. It's the lights. Alright.
Careful not to damage the equipment with the cutter while you're working. We don't need any more problems.
She's got a cutter here just in case I didn't have one, but I do have one. So, alright, come on, Zeke. We got some work to do. Nope. Alright.
New Homestead is a living history exhibit, but these are real people, so please be kind to them.
I think we gotta go outside. Come on. Yep. I think I've got all my equipment on, right? Yeah, I should. Let's head over there. Careful, those icicles. If one falls on you, it can kill you. Gotta get closer, I guess. See? I thought she needed a spacesuit out here. There's no breathable atmosphere. She's way up there. How the heck did we get inside?
We take vandalism seriously. We don't mess with history.
Is he just holding his breath? Ezekiel's just holding his breath. He doesn't need the suit.
Simple life. Try not to complicate it.
All right, all done.
I'm really glad you're helping us out.
Ice is all cleared up.
Good work. I should be able to take it from here. Thanks again for your help.
Sure. I'll take your credits and your XP. I guess the only other thing we have left to do here is some more of that monster thing. Oh, we got special sauce. Yeah, all right. Let's go get the special sauce delivery. We can do that. We gotta go to New Atlantis for that. Oh, the sirens are going down the street. Yeah, last time I played this, I was talking to a guy in the Chunks restaurant, and he couldn't get anyone to deliver the special Chunks sauce
That
to him.
Earthspeak cities look a lot like New Atlantis.
You think so? Hey, Zeke.
Hello again. Always happy to help out.
Let's see what you look like with a different hat on. So right now Zeke's wearing the Homesteader Scout hat. Let's have him put on the Settler Adventure hat. Doesn't look much different.
I always leave room for some of your stuff in my pack.
Oh, it looks about the same. Yeah, it's just brown instead of gray. I don't know. What do you think? I'd have to see a side-by-side comparison. That's his hat. That's the one he came with, so we'll just leave it.
Thanks for the chat.
Okay, where are we gotta go? I'm gonna grab a little drinky of water real quick. My throat's just, today. I don't know why. Probably because the heater's been running. It was kind of chilly here last night. Alright. Oh, we gotta go to the Chunks to pick up the special sauce from the nearest Chunks store, of course. That makes sense.
Let me see. There's no peanuts in that.
Welcome to Chunks. Please choose your chunks.
I'm here to pick up some special sauce.
Huh. I thought it was a joke at first, but yet here you are. Let me get that for you. But maybe next time you can ask him to make it last longer, so I don't have to keep doing this so often.
Oh, this has happened before?
I've answered each and every question.
Okay.
May I help?
Let's take a look at the special sauce. Okay. Welcome to the wide universe of Chunks, the settled system's only fast food chain. We specialize in enhanced synthetic flavor with over 50 tasty varieties, including favorites like chicken, chocolate, potato, apple, and homemade pumpkin pie. Better than the real thing, that's the Chunks guarantee. Yeah, I don't think there's 50 varieties on the actual menu. But it looks like it here, doesn't it? There's a bunch on here that I haven't seen in the game. Interesting. Huh. Cute. Okay. Let's take it back to Luther. Galbank is self-funded, self-protected, and self-regulated. Oh, you're back in your suit again. Okay, good. Let's go. Oh,
Anything I can
is
help
there
you
a
with?
Trade Authority kiosk here? Let's sell the rest of the crap on our ship. We're in the T's now. There we go. Alright, let's return to Luther with the special sauce. Whee!
The people here live a simple life. Try not to complicate it.
I think the jetpacks are one of the best part of this game. One of the best parts of this game. I really love the jetpack feature. And the different worlds with different types of gravity and stuff. I think that's really cool.
It's been a
Here you
while
go.
since I last
Oh.
visited. Nice to see
What's
this
on the
place
floor
still
here?
has the same
Napkins?
charm.
Hey, good to see you again. Hey, you're back. I
got the
people
special sauce.
Are getting antsy for special sauce. You got it?
Yeah, I got it.
Ooh, yeah, you got me that sweet, sweet sauce. Not that it tastes sweet, it's actually kind of tangy. Thanks again. Now, no one's gonna mind if I sneak a pack or two for myself, right? Things have never been better since this Chunks opened up. Makes me feel like we're actually part of the UC.
Your wife owns the Brown Horse Tavern. How could you work for the competition?
Oh, it's all good. Chunks pays me pretty well. And between you and me, Anya's doing all right herself. Plus, we got this plan, you know? We want to see if we can introduce some of Anya's famous cooking to the Chunks lineup and pitch it to corporate. Imagine
Oh, okay, cool.
Anya's delicious food in every Chunks restaurant across the settled systems. And people are bound to come visit her place to see where it all started. It's a win all around.
Okay. I'd like to place an order.
Sure. What delicious Chunks food can I get for you?
There's no special sauce in here? I can't buy special sauce from him, I guess. Okay.
Have a great day.
Sure. You guys need to clean up over here. Oh, there's a bathroom where you can make chunks after eating your chunks. Alright, well, let's sit and wait so we can do the rest of the monster quest. Oh, wow. We have quite a few people watching right now. Welcome. If you get a chance, check out my YouTube channel at youtube.com/JewelSmith. I live stream Starfield on Twitch at twitch.tv/JewelSmith. But I have a YouTube channel. All of my live streams get uploaded to the YouTube channel for people that might want to watch them, see if there's something they missed. And I have a lot of viewers on YouTube. A lot more than I have on Twitch. Like 10 times as many, something like that. So there's several people that watch me over there. They don't get to watch it live, but they watch the recordings from the live broadcast. And sometimes I make shorter videos. Like today, there was a video about Armin Petrosian. He's the brig officer on the UC Vigilance, and I found out, I was looking around some forums and stuff, and people on Steam and on Reddit were talking about how they couldn't get his quest to work, and they didn't know, how to get through it, or their quest was glitched or something. So I thought, well, I'll make a video so anybody that missed out on that or who's having problems with that, maybe it'll help them. So that video came out today. It was, but it's edited from, excerpts of my live streams. Okay, can we do this thing again with the monster?
I saw another group of tourists making their way outdoors, ripe for scaring. Want to help me out again?
Heck yeah, that was fun. Yeah, let's do it.
Why not? We don't want to let these monster sightings go too few and far between. We're bound to see results soon. Are you ready to put on the monster costume and go scare them right now?
Yeah, let's do it.
I think it might be worth trying. Good luck out there.
I think she's just going to bring more tourists, It's like a Bigfoot sighting or the Loch Ness Monster or something. Word's going to get out about this crazy monster on Titan, and everyone's going to come trying to find it. I don't think they're doing themselves any favors. Yeah, it says extreme cold, but I'm still inside, you guys. It shouldn't be extreme cold.
This is a boring assignment.
Welcome to New Homestead.
Alright, so where do I gotta go scare some tourists? Oh, I gotta put the monster costume on, okay. Scare the tourists. I'll be a flying monster. What do you think? Where are these tourists? Arr. Arr. Ah. Flying monster of Titan.
What is happening? It's going to eat us! Run!
Arr, 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 arr. Whee. I'm coming for ya. That just tickles me. I think this is so funny. Hey, Zeke. Zeke, you don't have to be right where I'm standing. Dude. You're photobombing me. He's amused. Look at the way he's looking at me like, what? Alright, let's go back inside.
Don't stay outside for too long here on Titan. You'll freeze solid without proper protection.
Oh. We're not doing any shooting. Stand down. Let's put back on our regular. Well, I don't need that on in here, but okay. Level 35. I have a skill point to spend if I want to spend it.
Homestead is a living history exhibit, but these are real people, so please be kind.
Why is it telling me to go over there? Is she in here now? She's not in her
No
office?
disrespect, but I'd appreciate if you let me and my family be.
Alright. Oh. It's telling me to go this way for some reason. Maybe she went home. Nope, nope, she's still here.
Ah! I have so much energy. I want to run around.
Okay, kid.
Do you need
You
medical
should have given him
assistance?
the monster costume.
Don't be afraid to do whatever you can to make that monster feel extra convincing. Just don't hurt anyone.
Okay, I scared off some tourists.
I'm glad it worked. I'm just happy I was able to find someone willing to help with this ridiculous idea.
You're lucky they
Come
didn't
back in a
start
few
shooting
days
at
to do
me.
this for me again, and that costume is yours. All right?
Okay. In a few days. What are we gonna do to kill a few days, Zeke? I guess we could go work on the ship a little bit. Let's go back out to the ship. I recently gave myself a new cockpit and did some work on my ship, so let's look around in the interior of the ship and check it out. Let's see what's in my cargo hold. A lot of food. Look through our weapons and stuff. Oh, right. This is the new cockpit. I got it because it's got so much glass in the front here, so it wouldn't obstruct my field of vision. I was having to do combat in third person instead of first person because I couldn't see through the window of my other cockpit. Come out here. Hey Amelia, how you doing? What are you leaning against there? We got a window. I think this is the captain's quarters over here. Yeah. Why do I have sketches of skulls on my wall there? Weird. Little private dining area back here next to the shower. Have dinner. Have a little shower. Have a little snuggle. Wish I had a couch here though. I want a couch. I don't like this. It's like this little seat, whatever that is. I mean, that's a waste of space. I want a couch in here. I think I'm gonna go get some different habs for my ship. I was looking online and there's some other habs that I want that have got better crew quarters and better captain's quarters and things. Alright, so we have a little storage room area here. If we hop down to the next level, what's down here? Oh, okay, right. This is a little crew hab here. There's a little cooking kitchen area. Dining table, storage, and whatnot, yeah. And here's the medical bay. Nope, this is the research area. What's this? Oh, that's the hatch. Okay, right. Okay. And the workshop. Okay. Right, because I think if we go down here, this is the medical bay. I was hoping there'd be a door here so that the hatch, you know, the bay would lead right into the medical bay. Or the infirmary, I'm sorry. But it didn't. And what's back here? Living quarters for the crew. That's where they have their beds. A little window to look out. What's back here? Oh, this is the hatch when we dock with other ships. Yeah, this could be laid out better. Not crazy about that layout. It's not too bad. All right, cool. Just taking a tour of my ship that I had worked on a few days ago and hadn't actually had a chance to tour yet. I don't think I'm carrying a whole lot. Yeah. Alright, well we're just killing time until we can do the monster quest again, so I guess I'll duck into my room and take a nap for a few days. She said to come back in a couple of days, but I don't know if she really meant that. Ansgar says the shipbuilding part is a cool addition. I bet there must be a gazillion mods for it already. I have no idea. I'm playing on Xbox and I don't know anything about modding. This is the first game I've ever played on an Xbox, and I don't usually play large games like this on a PC. I've never modded Skyrim, I've never modded Fallout. The only, well, I can't say I've never. Alright, Fallout 3 I used a couple of mods on. One mod was to change what Fawkes was wearing so he wasn't wearing the vault suit. And the other mod was to prevent dog meat from being killed. And there might have been some other mod that my daughter installed when she was getting it running on my computer, because Fallout 3, I played it a few years ago on Windows 10 and then Windows 11 before they did the update. After they were bought, after Bethesda Game Studios was bought by Microsoft, there was an update for Fallout 3 on PC so that it would run, because people were having a lot of problems trying to get it to run on a Windows 10 or a Windows 11 computer. But my daughter used some kind of mod or something. She did something with it. I mean, there was also some configuration things we had to do in the computer itself, but I'm pretty sure that she installed it and then included some kind of mod to help with stability and performance and stuff. But I don't think it significantly changed gameplay in any way. But yeah, other than that, I don't know much about mods. But yeah, I agree with you. The shipbuilding is really freaking cool. It's one of my favorite parts of this game too. I mess around with it a lot, even though I don't really know what I'm doing. But I was doing a little bit of research online the other day and looking at some YouTube videos that people have made where they tour the different habs of the ships from all the different vendors, because there's all the different people. There's Tayo and Hope Tech and Stroud Eklund, you know, blah blah blah. There's all these different ship companies, and they all have slightly different styles of interiors and stuff. Yeah, I think the ones that I really liked that I looked at, well, I had seen the Hope Tech ones, and I think for this ship I've got a bunch of Stroud Eklund. Well, the ship itself was the Kepler R, which came from Stroud Eklund, so it had Stroud Eklund parts, and I think I've put a few Deimos parts on it. But the Tayo stuff looked really good to me. They had some really interesting halves. So I might have to go back to Tayo in the, they're in the building, because they're owned by Ryujin. They're in the Ryujin building in Neon. I don't know why I'm sitting here just staring at the wall. Sorry about that. I sat down with Zeke here because he's sitting here.
Great day for some exploring, huh?
Anyway, I gotta go back to the Ryujin Tower and go to the Tayo showroom and maybe do a little bit of shipbuilding there with their parts. Alright, let's exit the ship.
Maybe we should move on. This place gives me the creeps.
Really? You don't like this place? I wonder why he would say that. Oh, I better put on a helmet. Oh, I still don't have a helmet on. Huh. Wonder why this place would give him the creeps. Are you scared of the monster, Zeke? I'm the monster. Nothing to be scared of.
Careful, there are some dangerous areas around here that are not part of any tours.
We take vandalism seriously here. You don't mess with history.
But yeah, I'm curious if somebody's going to start making like a Star Trek mod or a Star Wars mod or something.
There are times I envy those who are able to travel.
Let's see if she's ready.
Whatever you did last time with the monster costume worked out well, but there are still some more tourists. Care to give it another try?
All right, let's do it.
Sure. I heard some tourists talking about you after the last time you did it, so I think it's working. Are you ready to put on the monster costume and go scare them right now?
Yep. Third time's the charm.
Why not? Just be careful out there. I don't want to see you wind up in my clinic.
Okay. Well, like I said, I'll be lucky if they don't shoot at me. Ready to go scare some tourists, Zeke? Come on, why do I have to keep switching back to this? I've noticed it a lot, not just with this quest, but with lots of quests. It's like when there's several different shorter quests connected to each other, it doesn't just automatically like
cause any trouble in that costume of yours.
Ah! That was funny. She commented on the costume. I love it. Causing trouble is the whole point. Anyway, I've noticed when there's several little related quests that, like, as you complete each one, it doesn't automatically start the next related quest, which is kind of a bummer. Alright, let's go scare the tourists. Rarr. Rarr, I am the monster of Titan.
Why is that big?
Rarr. the giant tardigrade of Titan. Rarr. Can I scare the people too? Rarr. Rarr. See, what are you doing, my dude? What is he looking at? He's checking out my butt in this costume. I love how the head moves. Look at it. I mean, there's physics in this costume, man. They put some serious effort into this. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I've got my suit on. Alright, let's go back and talk to the doctor.
Enjoy your visit here.
Oh, and Sky's saying Fallout 3 and Skyrim I played on Xbox 360, no mods. Yeah. My first time playing Skyrim I played on PlayStation 3. Well, first 3 times I played Skyrim were on PlayStation 3. Yeah. Fallout 4 I played heavily modded. Ah. Have you already had the possibility to build outposts in this game? I think I can, maybe? I mean, I've got a quest way down here to use a hand scanner and place an outpost beacon, but I haven't actually done it yet. I mean, I know I can just do it anywhere, but I keep forgetting. I've found several places I could probably, you know,
You get used to the methane processing smell after a while.
could probably do it, but I just haven't done it.
The elders say that preserving our tradition is so important, but I keep hearing such wonderful things about running this farm with my family for the sake of our little colony is one of the greatest pleasures in life.
Off-worlders always ask how I can live here. I wonder how they can live anywhere
Some of us are quite happy with our lives here. We don't need tourists distracting us with their flights of fancy. I overheard you speaking to my wife, Mara, filling her head with ideas about picking up and leaving home. You got anything to say for yourself?
She clearly wants to visit off-world. Why not let her?
Listen here. Mara's free to make her own decisions. I'm not here to control her if that's what you're insinuating. But that doesn't mean I take kindly to other people manipulating her and telling her the other worlds are full of sunshine and rainbows. We live a simple traditional life here, and it's important to the community that we maintain that. Do you understand?
Her going and visiting other places isn't going to change what her home is and that she's with you. This guy sounds threatened. It's none of my business. I don't agree with you. People should explore the universe freely. What traditions? What's so important about your traditions? Yeah, you're the one that said you married into the family. It wasn't even your tradition to begin with.
People rely on technology too much. We need to remember how to perform the basics to survive in case we ever find ourselves without said technology. We need to remember where we came from. Earth, this system, lest we forget and repeat the same mistakes as before. We're one of the last colonies charged with that preservation. That's why it's important.
Well, you guys can still visit other places. I mean, Jesus, I just hopped on my ship and flew over and grabbed some special sauce and flew back, and it was like nothing. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Like, it's not gonna hurt your traditions to fly around, see some new things, take a vacation. Jesus, dude. Relax. People should explore the universe freely. I'll say what traditions.
Traditions like the way we tend this farm. Strong family ties. Early colonial life. We do it all with the bare minimum technologies to survive. Everything else is hard work done by humans. It's good for humanity's soul.
Well, why don't you just join lists then and go to some planet where you don't have to live inside of a cardboard box? Jesus Christ. I don't agree with you. People should explore the universe freely.
We're going to have to agree to disagree then. I only ask that you respect our wishes.
I mean, she's the one that asked me a bunch of questions, and I told her the honest truth. One of the things I told her was that it was dangerous out there. I wasn't trying to fill her head full of fanciful notions or anything. This guy's a dick. Alright, let's go into the...
Well, we
I
used to
got all
get
this
more
hard work to
tourists
do.
these days.
They're standing around staring out the windows. Alright, let's go back to
You
the
have a
dock.
spaceship? I want to get a spaceship when I'm older. They're so cool.
I think it's time to put on the monster costume again. What do you say?
I scared off some tourists for you.
See, sometimes silly ideas are worth the effort. Thank you. With any luck, I'll be able to give more attention to my regular patients now. Oh, I managed to find another costume for you to keep. I'll hold on to the old one in case we still need it. Come back anytime.
I thought there was only one that you bought from somebody that had been used in a movie or something. I guess she found another one on eBay.
If you take one of those stupid tours, make sure to follow the... You wouldn't believe how many off-worlders think hiking the surface of Titan is all fun and games. I don't have a whole lot, but hopefully I've got what you need.
I don't know if I need anything from her. Ooh, she's got Panacea though. Those are nice. I'll take one of those.
Stay safe.
What was I looking at before? That one. Twice the jump height, 400 damage resistance, melee damage, movement speed. Yeah, this is pretty cool. I'm gonna craft one. Alright, well, I guess we have our own Monster costume now? They always say weird things to me when I walk through the towns and cities with my mantis helmet on. I wonder what they'll say if I'm wearing this thing. Alright, I think we've done all we can do on Titan. I don't know why it keeps kicking me back to Light in the Darkness. Let's turn that off. Alright, well now we've got to head out, continue on this UC Vanguard stuff, I guess. But I'm not going to do that today. Today is going to be the end of the day for me. I've been streaming for about 2.5 hours. I'm going to head out, go make dinner. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. I hope you had a good time. This was fun. I enjoyed stuff on Titan. It was kind of fun. It's a weird little area with some interesting little side quests and things to do. It has an interesting story behind it. It's been kind of fun. Alrighty, but next time I think I'm going to be doing some shipbuilding. We'll see if maybe we can head back to Neon and check out some of those Tayo ship habs and do some remodeling of my ship again. Walter Stroud probably won't be very happy that I'm using Tayo parts on the Stroud Eklund Kepler R ship that he gave me, but oh well, he can just get over it. And I will probably rename it. So if you have any ideas for what I should name my ship, let me know in the chat room or in the comments if you're watching this on YouTube. Hey everybody, take care of yourselves until next time.